Hi, my name is Cheryl Stanga, and this is for DeskCrit number 2 for 6190, summer 2015. What you see here is my project in its most basic form. What I've done is work a little bit on the menu to be able to label the numbers as well as to add a logo. So I've actually been working mostly on getting the master slide and the template already so that when I start inserting slides more quickly as I have more content available to me, that it'll be a lot easier to make sure that the colors are all the same and not having to change every single piece of every single slide, which is what I did for all those slides I already had. So I decided I actually didn't like the lime green and I wanted to go more with the school colors. So I went with a blue and a gold, but I still see that this blue isn't quite matching just how dark the blue is with the logo, so I might still make some adjustments. And then this person is the character and articulate that most closely looks like me, which is why I chose it, because I felt like my students would find the humor in our similarities. So you just click Get Started, brings to a welcome page. One thing I'm really mad about is I can't seem to get this picture to unstick itself and go throughout this entire dotted blue area. You see that there was a speech bubble here with some text. I haven't quite been able to upload any of the audio, but I plan to have an audio to go with what she says. It's on a timer, so it'll just be an automatic welcome and I want it to be fast, since I assume that most of my students will have to come to this module time and time again as they're going through the various lessons, and will be able to sort of start where they left off. It brings you to a table of contents where you have the 4 different lessons, and as you see when you first arrive, it only allows you to select from lesson 1 because you haven't completed it yet. This is a great way so that if students have to come back to it, that they have to click on the exercise each time, which will open up and unlock the next thing from coming. I'm still working on getting that feature to work because right now it isn't seeming to populate, but I'll keep working on it. So if we just click first to start with the content, Introduction to Debate begins with the resolution. I don't really have a lot of audio for this one. I don't really know. This is kind of like a vocab-centric lesson and really just an overview, so I wanted to keep it short and just have kids be able to read and kind of move on. So then it goes to the role of the affirmative. It says click here for an example. I kind of am thinking I might redo this to be kind of a narrated thing, maybe even a short video. And then role of the negative, which is really short. I don't really like the setup of this page, so I still might make some adjustments. How to win a policy debate, which is known as Mr. T. This is a phrase that I use all the time in debate, and so they'll definitely have to get used to Mr. T. And this image of Mr. T from the old days of WWE is something I always reiterate, and for fun, he pops up onto worksheets. So I've included it not because it necessarily makes sense, but more that it makes sense for my learners in the context in which they'll be learning. Then they go to a review the content page. It slowly goes down. I changed my color, so I guess I still have to change this here for the color of the magnifying glass, but it just gives a quick summary. Then they go and do an exercise where they select the different vocab terms as part of their issue of mastery to be able to move on to the next one. See if I just put all the correct answers in, and it goes to submit. I'm still working on the results page showing up. For some reason, the template I downloaded doesn't seem to want to allow me to have a results page, but and like I said, it's not seeming to populate with what I expect right here to then populate with 3 new bubbles to be able to move on to speeches and speakers. But that's the plan, is to be able to do that all the way through, is to have content, especially speeches and speakers. I made a video in the 6500 class in May that I really want to incorporate, and so I plan to put it into a couple of those slides. It's a 5-minute video for them to watch, do some review, a summary exercise, and then also have a mastery-based assessment where the results will allow them to move on or ask them to redo part of the module. So that's what I have so far, and I hope you enjoy.